Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's all fantastic and wonderful. It's pretty great here. And I didn't have a topic for today until I took my kids home. Tonight is a kids night. If you're new here, I have my children one night a week for dinner and then every other weekend. This was our dinner night. And I just got back from taking them home, and when I came off the interstate, there was a police officer parked in the middle of a 3-lane, on the middle lane of a 3-lane, divided highway, not on the interstate, but a divided 3-lane. Just parked with the lights on, and he was standing there. And this is like at a stop sign on this 3-lane, and he was just standing there. He wasn't directing traffic. He wasn't stopping anybody. He was just chilling in the middle lane. And it's a pretty busy little section of road. And I was confused, but it made me think of something I haven't thought about for a very, very, very long time. And that is sobriety checkpoints. Now, I don't know if where you're from you've ever heard of such a thing, or if such a thing has ever actually existed. The reason I haven't thought about it for a while is it's used to be something that I guess I had a little routine, a little rant about when I was younger, is that I'm 42. I've been driving since I was 15, been paying attention long before that when my parents drove. I have never in my life seen or been stopped at or gone past near a sobriety checkpoint. But when I was a kid, I was made to believe that sobriety checkpoints existed like every single night. Somewhere in town there was going to be a checkpoint, and you better not drink and drive. And they used to publish them in the paper here, because from what I understand, I don't know anything about law, but from what I understand, they can't just stop you. Like, that's entrapment. So if they publish it in the paper, then the cops could set up, and then they could do a stop, a random screening, checking for drunks. They also apparently can't stop you within a certain distance from a bar, that's entrapment also. There's a whole bunch of rules, but the point is, when I was younger in the 80s and 90s, we were basically told that there's always sobriety checkpoints. They're always going on somewhere, and you better watch out. You better not drive drunk. I've never seen one. Never even heard of anybody getting stopped at one. But it was shared as common knowledge that these things were a very real thing, and they were a very real, I guess, threat. I mean, the threat is maybe you shouldn't drink and drive, right? Like you're the real threat. But I was made to believe that it was a very serious thing, and you would see them all the time. You would go out every weekend, and there would be one, and you'd have to go through it. I've been all over this country, and I've never seen one. And I'm just curious. I want to know, where you're from now, or where you're from when you grew up. Was that a common thing? Did people talk about it? Did you see them? Have you ever been through one? Have you know anybody who's gotten arrested at one? I'm actually genuinely curious to know if it's a real thing, or if it was just one of those, urban myths that got passed around as a way to, scare teenagers out of drinking and driving. Let me know in the comments. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking and commenting and subscribing. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. I appreciate you very much. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is fulsome. It is an adjective meaning describes words or actions that praise or flatter someone to an excessive degree. Katie's introduction of the keynote speaker was so fulsome that he led his speech with a few self-efficacy remarks. Fulsome. F-U-L-S-O-M-E. Efficacy is the better word in that whole thing. I really like that word. But fulsome, is that I got nothing. Folsom State Prison?